Hey, what's up guys? Professor Tom, I'm here with Guy. We're going to have a look today at scissor sweep hacks. Everyone learns a scissor sweep, the basic sweep. It's often the first sweep we learn, yet it's the last one that most people master. To be honest, I feel I didn't really learn it very well till black belt. I felt I've gotten more scissor sweeps on black and brown belts than I got on all the other belts leading up through all the years. So I'd like to share some of those tips with you, and hopefully you get a scissor sweep that is a force to be reckoned with as well. Alright guys, Tom, I'm here with Guy. We're going to have some fun. Scissor sweeps. We all know scissor sweep, but getting it was a different story. We start in closed guard, that's a given. However, looking at the control of the scissor sweep gives us a few different things. The first thing I like to tell people is, alright, let's get rid of the hands first. So when we grip for a scissor sweep, the thing that I don't like to do is grip in between a joint, like this. I never like to grip in between a joint. I'd like to grip on the joint. My grip isn't what controls his arm. That just keeps my hand located in the right spot to push his elbow in, okay? A scissor sweep is 60 to 70% hands. So what do our hands do? Our collar grip hand, which can be loose cross collar. This is valuable to throw a punch towards the camera. Deep cross collar, which is very valuable in pulling him forward but limited sideways. I have a same side collar grip, okay, which is useful for punching, okay, like again throwing that right hook, okay. So what do our hands do? I want to pull him forward over here. So my hands are doing this, okay. I'm trying to get his head beyond his arm here, okay. So I'm falling down and I'm trying to turn him over just with my hands like this. The finishing touches are done with our legs, but let's look at those hands again. So I'm here, I pull him forward and I tilt him over, okay? So once we get used to what our hands are doing, it's then just about tying in with our legs and creating a unity of force. So when I get my grips and I go for my scissor sweep, this is the big difference maker. So if you jump around here, you'll see that I'm doing like a right calf raise, okay? So what that is keeping the contact point of my knee and his floating ribs. This is ultimately my goal. What I don't want in a scissor sweep is a shin. This isn't good, guys, especially if you start doing heel hooks, stuff like that. No shins, knees, and floating ribs, okay? Here. So I use my toes to keep the pressure. My right hand is pulling him onto the knee, and now my knee and my right hand both go on this axis, okay? My left leg cuts in, my left hand cuts in. So my left leg is going like this, and my left hand is going like this. My right hand is going like this, and my right knee is going like this. So when we combine those, we get a crazy powerful sweep. And now I thrust my hips towards his head and move into a strong consolidated mount position again. So when we start in closed guard, we're going to have to do some adjustments. So I've got a grip, I hip out, and now I'm in my position. I've got that tight grip with my knee in his floating ribs, my calf raise is in place. Now I'm going to pull him forward with my right knee and right hand as my left leg and left knee go in and over he goes, hips forward. And now I base out. So let's have a look at one at real speed. Again. Hip out. I'll be holding here for a bit. All right, so this is a relatively new take on the scissor sweep position because we're not using our shin. But you'll find that the knee is far superior. In particular, your knee and those floating ribs will lift people right across. Of course, sweeping them and getting to mount is two different things. So make sure you thrust your hip high when you land, especially at the higher levels, so that you can hopefully get mount, because a sweep to mount is amazing. You know, if you can do that at black belt, that's like a match one and done. So make sure you thrust that hip forward. And just remember with your scissor sweep, guys, Failure isn't necessarily failure. I mean, obviously we try to learn from our failure. So if you try to sweep someone and he puts his hand out, well, we know what went wrong. So if I had a guy here and I went to sweep him and he put his hand out, that's not failure, that's feedback telling you that your left hand didn't do its job, okay? However, remember that with our grips, we can do the different grips. Shallow, high, same side, and especially with these ones here, either deep or shallow, if the sweep fails, often there are backup techniques, like for instance, a loop choke, or for instance, a cross choke, okay? So always remember that failure is feedback, and it can be an invitation, of course, always to improve our sweeps, but it's also an invitation to go for attacks. And certainly combining your sweeps with your chokes is Jiu-Jitsu Fundamentals 101. I hope that helps. Some of you guys with your scissor sweeps, especially the big heavy guys, put that knee in those ribs and use all 4 limbs at once. And then there's the final tip. When do you do a technique? We know why we would do a technique, we know why we would sweep, we know how to sweep now, and who it can be done on, well, everybody, where, on the mats, clearly, but when? When is the big question that I see not asked a lot in Jiu-Jitsu, and the key is just, the answer is always, as long as it's a surprise. So just surprise them. Don't get into the scissor sweep position and wait for 30 seconds to sweep. That never works for anyone in any combat sport. Just go boom, boom, and get him. The scissor sweep works when it's a surprise. So make sure you hit it as a surprise and don't set it up 30 seconds early and then wait to try it, because he knows what you're doing. Hit it quick, hit it fast, get it done, get to mount. Have some fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Coach Tom. I'll see you next time.